couple of these sessions.
Girish, I do have a question for you.
Okay,
So,
let's have a question first.
I think that perhaps in my conversation with Uncle Stephen earlier this week, I think we kind of talked about this. That I think what I'm noticing is I'm working through, again, the knowledge and the behaviors to create that, that environment that you've been talking about. I think the frustrations that I have, are when other people or society just doesn't cooperate at all.
Yes.
So that I think that still needs to be there still needs to be an adaptability in how we look at that and not have expectations that anybody or anything is going to cooperate. I think that's the piece that I'm not missing it, but I'm working through it, I guess, because it would be nice if the environment cooperated more often than it does.
What I have to do with the society, the family, the people at home, and the people at workplace, that is a very challenging question. And the answer is simply dispassion. At least we have 10 different answers of the same principle, that is dispassion. I gave you one answer today, and then we will continue. I am attached to you, for example. That is my behavior, right? And now, whatever David talks about you, I don't listen to him because I'm attached to you. So now question comes, can dispassion work with attachment? So why you are attached to the society? Why you're attached to the society? Because that attachment clings to the behavior, then you are not in discernment. You are not doing viveka. So then what your mind says, oh, what I have to do with the society? Leave the society, recognize them, leave them as it is. We are not social worker to change the society. We are not politicians to make lot of promises. We are seekers. Even in your family, if person is not living in viveka or discernment, leave them as, recognize them, the world as it is, and live in, then there is no attachment, so there is no change in behavior, and then there is a dispassion. One answer. I will continue with a different answer. Yeah, let me take it. But before that, I have been requesting you all seekers that apply these principles in day-to-day life, in your family, wherever you go, 24 by 7. So once you apply these principles in day-to-day life, you will find one day that you are already in a state of meditation. So use this word outside as an opportunity to live your life of self-discovery. Some people are nasty to you, apply discernment and dispassion. Some people are good to you, apply discernment and dispassion. Where is the problem? And you are applying inside. Very important. And now understand clearly and keep it in your head all the time. What is the goal of life? We are very clear. Whatever actions, thoughts, feeling we are doing, it is all about peace and happiness, love and wisdom. We all are seekers of peace and happiness. Are you clear about it? First, do you have a choice? Here, I do not have a choice. Clear? Pay attention. So now think, I am a seeker. Yes, I will continue the journey. I am not a seeker, but do I have a choice? Even if I am not a seeker. Even if I am not a seeker, I don't have a choice because I am seeking permanent peace and happiness. Are you getting it? See the understanding and the logic put forth by our great masters. So, do you, no, I don't want to point out, but you already know a one person, couple of weeks before, couple of months before, uh, sad in the share the same experience. I don't have the experiences the way other people have it. I don't know what to do. What happened? What happened? We are sharing the experiences to progress. So instead of progressing, that person cultivated a pride. Pride is a behavior. That how come David has progressed a lot? Why I am not doing it? I am more intelligent. I am not in dispassion. I am not in dispassion. I lost everything. So it's very subtle. But once you understand, there is no end of this journey. So think of this. Now go back. Go back. Here, our friend has come. So go back to the same dispassion. What is that dispassion? That we need to understand it clearly. I do not have a choice to leave peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. I don't have a choice. Whether I am a seeker or I am not a seeker. Are you clear about it? So that person left the session. So should I chase that person? Answer is no. So because of the pride, she could not do the discernment. She could not reach to a state of dispassion. Or person continues to live into that state of the passion. Now ask yourself, when I don't have a choice about peace and happiness and I'm not a seeker, what should I do? Take a simple example in day to day life. I don't have money to meet my basic necessities and I don't have it. What I do? Should I go to the bedroom and sleep? Now apply the same principle. If I'm not a seeker, I have more inspiration to become a seeker. Why? I don't have a choice. I don't want to live in stress and suffering. Are you clear? Are you clear about this? Look at the way we have no choice. So if I'm not a seeker, I want to progress. I want to inspire myself to become a seeker. And the moment you inspire yourself to become a seeker, why should I leave the session? No, it's not a question that this beer guy, you attend a session of a beer guy. You can attend the session of anyone, but you don't want to leave. Do you have that awareness? So that awareness is discernment, and that will make you a seeker. Now, if you make a wrong choice, then what happens? You continue with the sorrow and suffering. As the Sam says, I don't see that the society, I find lot of leave the world as it is. That is why I normally use the word to live in harmony with your honey, remain silent. If she speaks or he speaks, remain silent. If he or she doesn't speak, remain silent. Why? That message is for the discernment, leading to dispassion. Now understand passion or dispassion. Especially passion is attachment and detachment. From today, take this passion or attachment and detachment as a weakness in the mind and start working on that weakness. How I fail in my own eyes because of attachment. There is no other reason. Attachment. So we are talking about if the viveka is there, the discernment is there, the dispassion will follow. But now ask yourself, who strips discernment? Who takes you away from the discernment? It is attachment. Attachment leads to passion. So the passion hides what is right and good. I just gave an example of Sam and David. We have told you we have 3,000 texts. We have 3,000 teachers. Every teacher, every text talks about these fourfold practices directly or indirectly. If you are not following that, you leave it, you study any practice, you do any practice of meditation or mindfulness, it will never succeed. Just a day ago, my all are my friends. So one friend, that person started not revealing the gender. So that person started challenging through his or her intellect. Can you tell me where is these fourfold practices in Hatha Yoga? No, Hatha Yoga Pradipika. There is a specific text. You'll be surprised. There are verses in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, that is a text of Hatha Yoga that talks about the fourfold practices, and that person is doing yoga for 20 years. So that person went for a popular notion and that person challenged. I said, don't challenge me, challenge your intellect. You have formed your wrong notion, change your wrong notion. So when I told you that this attachment and detachment is a weakness, understand our behavior. Very important. One person you dislike, What your behavior wants dissociation with that person. What is the result? Pleasure. Take a simple example, which may not be true. You like me. So there is an association. Where the association and dissociation is working, it is working in the mind. So dissociation with one person you don't like gives you pleasure. Dissociation with the second person you like gives you pleasure. Where the association and dissociation is working, it is in your mind. Did you apply discernment? No. You will be in passion, and the passion will lead you to suffering. Did you understand that? That is why we have to practice dispassion. Another way, now see the result. Huh? That is the answer, another answer to the same question. When you live in dispassion, the mind is not at all influenced, dictated, affected by any likes and dislikes. So, what happens to the mind? The mind is free. It has nothing to do with indifference. Remember, sometimes people feel, oh, dispassion is, that I suppress my emotions. No, you are purifying the mind. But then you claim I'm not a seeker. Well, if you are not a seeker, I cannot have a choice. I cannot leave the path. Who says I cannot leave the path? Your knowledge in the that is the power of discernment. I cannot leave the path. I do not have a choice. But now, say for example, you leave the path. What is the result? This meditation, mindfulness is a crazy thing. I did not have those experiences. What happens then? The mind takes over you. Then you blame, complain, react for everything in the society, in the family, in your relationship. Go further. I still want happiness by grabbing, by doing criminal acts. You go further, reach to the highest point. So don't think that those criminals do not want peace and happiness, but they are seeking happiness through a means which is against the society, which is against me. I cannot reach to that state. Not possible. I'm stressing, no choice. I have no choice. So I inspire myself. I have to become a seeker to succeed, not only in my life, but set an example. Are you getting it? So never think from your own intellect, but follow the teachings of the Eastern wisdom. This passion gives you so much of joy inside. What is joy? You have changed you have removed the weakness of your mind. Are you understanding? You have removed the weakness of your mind. Do you still remember? Viveka brings understanding and clarity. What is clarity? I use the term classifying, separating. Neighbor's house, my house. Behavior, attachment. Now there is no attachment. So, no attachment. You recognize the people as it is. Viveka leads to dispassion. Dispassion awakens you to that state of the joy. So that person, who was listening to Hatha Yoga, no, you don't listen to me. Okay, now from today I will listen to you. Finished. So go into a little more understanding of dispassion. I am attached means what? I gave an example that I'm attached to Sam. So what will happen inside my mind? And Stephen says, no, 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 no. I don't believe you that Sam is such a good person. Then what happens to my mind? I want to prove it. Because of the attachment, I give more value to a person, added value, which does not exist. Every person is good. So, what I lack? I lack discernment. When I lack discernment, I will blame, I will complain, I will react, I'm attached, I will cry, I have tears. There is no end to the. Now, if you don't have these two powers, will you ever succeed in meditation? Ask yourself. Sitting in meditation. Because one attachment to a person, attachment is present. That is more important, not attachment to a person, thing, or anything. If the attachment is present during the meditation, that attachment will go to the body. The body will move, distract you. You will not succeed. I believe you all are seekers, you are understanding. We are going deeper, deeper and deeper. Last point. You have to think it over. Absence of connection between what you want in life and the object in the mind. Think of it. Absence of connection between the goal of life, that is peace and happiness. When that is absent, you are in passion, you suffer. And when you suffer, what happens? You blame someone, he or she blames you. Again, there is a cycle. So that creates the impurity in the mind. That impurity needs to be removed to succeed in meditation. So, first thing in attachment and liking and disliking, that is my particular behavior in the mind. How? I add a value first. When I add a value, first thing, then I superimpose my idea, my notion, two things. What happens? I fall into ignorance. And when I fall into ignorance, the desire for seeking happiness from outside in the world starts. It never comes to an end, and that causes me suffering in my life. That fails meditation. Why meditation? Last point, why meditation? Remember, meditation aims at revealing that knowledge of the real self in me. Okay, but is not the real self is revealed? No. Whether you say it is attachment, whether you say it is subtle ego that is living my life at present. What is the goal of meditation? Now, the real self is manifesting through intellect, through mind, through body, through sense organs, and living my day to day life. When the real self is manifested, that is our goal. We don't have a choice. And the real self is of the nature of peace and happiness, love and wisdom. Last session, we said, I think that again, that is a clarity that I have to bridge the gap between knowledge through the discernment and behavior coming through the dispassion. Knowledge and behavior. Knowledge and behavior. So when you bridge this gap, still there are misalignment between the knowledge and behavior. What is that? Because of past impressions. Sometimes we say there is a proverb that it's very hard to leave a habit. Some proverb is there, I don't remember. So those past impressions still remain. In order to remove those past impressions, we have the six treasures, the third factor, third out of the four practices. So we will talk about that huh, after we understand it clearly, the discernment and dispassion. So we have to listen. I've been requesting you, so we'll start our practice, but I've been requesting you, please go through the previous